Good afternoon and welcome to another installation of the Uplift. I'm Reverend Patti Paris, Senior Minister here at Vision, and I'm here to welcome you. We're going to have a wonderful conversation, uplifting, inspirational, with prayer included. Let's start there. Giving great thanks for this day, just always starting out in gratitude. Whenever we go within, to just know grateful, grateful, grateful for all of our lives, for this moment in time, for knowing and accepting the one God, the one life, the one universal intelligence, which is in and through and around all of us. We know that we are one. We know that there is one life. It is God's life. It is whole, perfect, and complete. It comes equipped with everything. And we know that this is our life right here and right now, so that we can go within and reach all of the peace that God is, or the joy, or the harmony, or the love, or the abundance, or the balance. Everything that Spirit is within us. So we know that as we go within, we come in contact with all of it, all of those qualities of God. And we are free to believe, embody, and demonstrate them to the extent that we desire. So coming together right here, right now, in this pursuit of the path of unfoldment, we are here together of one mind, knowing of each other and knowing of ourselves as that, Spirit in form, doing the work on earth that Spirit would have us do, in love and in harmony and in joy. And so it is. So, good afternoon. We are here on this wonderful Thursday afternoon. I don't know where you are, but the sun is shining where I am, and it's beautiful and balmy and just a perfect San Diego day, actually. So I thought, sure, it's the perfect day to talk about our woundedness. How about that? Let's talk about our wounds, because I want to talk about the good part of that, which is that Ernest Holmes said that healing is our birthright. Healing is our birthright, And here at Vision, we talk about how we heal. We come together to remember who we are. We come together to heal those wounds. And we heal those wounds by investing our time, investing our prayer, investing our intention, investing our meditation, and really all of our spiritual practice on our healing. That's what we are here to do, to heal and reveal the truth for ourselves and be a light for others. So all of that is true. We have to actively invest in our healing, right? In revealing the truth of ourselves, that we are some aspect of the divine life of God. And God is not broken, and God is not wounded, and God is not suffering, right? None of those things happen in spirit. So we have to invest the time that it takes to reveal the truth about ourselves as well. So I wanted to really focus today on our wounds, our woundedness, and how we can transform our woundedness so our wounds become our superpower. Our woundedness becomes our superpower. So we have to start with the wound. We have to start with the trauma. We have to admit that people can do horrible and loveless things to each other. It happens. It happens out of our brokenness. It happens when people who have been wounded and do not heal then wound others. It happens by people who are unconscious and steamrolling other people. Wounds happen. And our woundedness occurs by the meaning that we make of it. The idea that the events of our lives, the things that happen to us, as horrible as they can be, the things that happen to us do not define us. What we make of those events, that is what limits us or frees us. So does that make sense? Even the most horrible things that happen to us, it's not the event itself, but it's what we make of it. It's how we can make that event limit what we believe is possible for us, or how we can make it free us. Because the quality of our life is contingent upon that, about transforming the events in our lives so that we can grow from them. And so I think a lot of that comes from asking the better questions. We have to learn to ask the better questions. The quality of our life is contingent upon that. I think the quality of questions we ask ourselves about what has happened to us. You know, there is an old saying about how time heals all wounds, right? But I don't think that that's true. I don't think that time alone can heal all wounds. I think time well spent can heal our wounds, our woundedness. But time alone is not the answer, because we can spend that time ruminating on our woundedness. We can spend that time picking at the wounds and going over and over and over how we were wounded, how we were betrayed, how we will, you know, never ever be the same. That time won't heal those wounds. Time spent like that won't heal anything. It just keeps us on track. It just keeps us in our same old story. We keep picking at those old wounds. We keep going back to them. We keep revisiting them. We keep reliving them. We keep, you know, those emotional attachments to them. Time's not going to heal that if that's how we spend our time, you know. It's just going to keep us in our woundedness. It's going to keep that thing festering and alive and damaging us. You know, I think about our bodies, right? Could you imagine what you would feel like, what you would look like today if every splinter, every skinned knee, every cut you ever got never healed? If it still stayed on your body, open and oozing? Could you imagine how that would feel? Imagine how that would make us look. Our bodies know what to do. Our bodies heal ourselves. And what our body knows, that body wisdom that knows what to do on the outside, we have to know how to do on the inside, right? So that we can heal from the wounds from life, from conditions, from what other people's behavior. Ernest Holmes said this. He said, "You cannot heal that which you see. Healing is unseeing that which is wrong and seeing that which is right." So what he's saying there is the more we concentrate on the woundedness, the more we're seeing the woundedness, we can't heal from that position. We cannot heal from staying in our victim story and staying stuck in how awful it was and what a terrible thing happened to me and how I'll never get over it. And you're right, you'll never get over it. But you can heal and not only get over it, but you become better. You know, I will never be the same again. I will never be the same again. No, you won't. You won't ever be the same, but you can be better. You will never be the same, but you can get better, right? So it happens by concentrating and by focusing on the right stuff, on the healing, on the perfection, on the love, on the joy, on the forgiveness, on the gratitude. So it's about where we place our focus, and that's why Ernest Holmes said we don't heal what we see, meaning we don't heal the wound by keep looking at the wound. We heal the wound by unseeing it and seeing, casting our gaze, casting our attention on what is truth. What is truth? You know, because you're right, we'll never be the same. We'll be better. We will be better. We get to heal. Just like our body's wisdom heals our outside, our cuts and our bumps and our bruises and our contusions and our black and blues, our body knows how to heal all that stuff. And just like our body's wisdom, we have that inner wisdom that can heal those wounds as well. But it takes time. It takes time. So in that case, yes, time heals all wounds, but only time well invested. Only time spent practicing our spiritual practice and what it means to heal internally. By taking our time, taking our intention, taking our commitment to be our best selves, will we heal those internal wounds just like our body wisdom knows how to heal the outer wounds. You know, Ernest Hemingway said this. He said, "The world breaks everyone, and afterward, many of us are stronger in the broken places." Many of us are stronger in the broken places. You know, and here's what I know. None of us are born mentally strong. None of us are born spiritually strong. None of us are even born physically strong, for that matter, right? We're born, we lay on our backs, we do nothing, you know, we can't even stand up. We're not physically strong enough to walk when we're born. We have to develop habits of strength, right? In order to go from crawling to pulling ourselves up on a piece of furniture, right, to then standing upright, to then walking. It's a process. We have to strengthen ourselves in order to walk. We have to strengthen ourselves physically in order to go from being an infant being carried to a toddler crawling to a young child walking. We have to strengthen ourselves, and it's a process. Strengthen ourselves physically. We have to strengthen ourselves mentally to be able to withstand a firing at work, or a romantic breakup, or a disappointment, or a physical abuse. We have to strengthen ourselves mentally in order to come to terms with things like that. We have to strengthen ourselves spiritually to know who we are, to continue to have a spiritual practice, to continue to use affirmative prayer to change the conditions around us. We have to have a spiritual practice, and we have to strengthen in that spiritual practice in order to have those things out picture in our world of conditions. So we're not born that way. We have to put the time in all aspects of our lives, physical, mental, spiritual, soulfully. We have to put the work in, the time in, if we're going to heal ourselves physically, mentally, spiritually. And Ernest Holmes in Can We Talk to God said this. He said, "It is not our spirit that needs to be made whole. It is our mental reactions to life that need the healing." Our mental reactions to life. Spirit doesn't need to be made whole. Spirit's already whole. The spirit within us is already whole. Our soul is already whole. We are already one with the universe, one with spirit, one with everything. We know who we are within us. That seed of perfection within us knows we are never hurt, never less than, never wounded, never broken. Our spirit knows that. That's true of us. It is our mental reactions to life that need healing. Those things that occur along the road, those things that happen to us in this thing called life. When we bump up against people who are mean, who are vicious, who are acting out of their own brokenness. Hurt people, right? Those loving, wonderful people that know of their worth and know of themselves as spirit and form, those are not those people. So we know that we can heal. We know that we can heal. So instead of focusing on how we got to be so broken, how we got to be so damaged, we can ask the better question. What is the gift in this experience? How is this going to transform my life? How have I gotten stronger in the broken places? Because when I've gotten stronger in the broken places, then I'm a light for others. I become the light for others out of the darkness of their own experience of brokenness. Right? When I am healed, I am the light on the hill. I'm that lighthouse, that beacon for other people who perhaps have had similar experiences, and they're looking for their way out of the darkness. And there you are, healed, whole, and complete, having lived through and healed from the trauma, the abuse, the whatever it was that was so traumatic. And it absolutely was that. But you've healed from that. That becomes your superpower right there. That becomes your superpower. Because you become the place of healing for others who perhaps have gone through what you went through, or experienced maybe something similar to what you experienced, you become that point of healing for someone else. You become someone's inspiration. You become the wellspring of someone else's healing because you have done the work and you have healed, and others see that it's possible. Even if they're not there yet, they see that it's possible. So Ernest Holmes always said about healing, he said, you know, that it's a process, that our healing is a process. And Ernest Holmes said it's a process in healing, that it is not a process of healing. And he makes a difference between those two. And it's a significant difference. He talks about the process of healing indicates we're broken, right? The process of healing. We are lessened somehow. We are, you know, imperfect, or we have to heal something that's broken. But a process in healing, the process in healing is the time it takes to reveal the wholeness that has been there all along. Ernest Holmes makes that difference. We are whole all along. That what happens to us in the condition, what happens to us in this thing called life, what happens to us in this, you know, on the surface, right, in the condition, in the physical world, is not the truth of us. That we are whole, perfect, and complete within. And so the process in healing is the time that we spend and the attention that we put to it to reveal the perfection within us that has been there all along. It is always there, that we are whole, perfect, and complete. It is always there. That we are an outpicturing of the divine. It is always there. That there is nothing that can happen to us at the level of the physical that can diminish or destroy or damage the truth of our oneness, the truth of our spiritual nature, the truth that we are some aspect of the divine in form. There is nothing that we can put ourselves through here in the physical world that can destroy that. Ernest Holmes in the Science of Mind textbook says this. He said, there is no process of healing, but there is generally a process in healing. This process is the time and the effort which we undergo in our realization of truth. And the realization of truth is we are whole, we are perfect, we are complete. We are as the Creator created us. And that cannot be damaged, destroyed, or defaced by anything that can happen to us in the physical world. The magnificence that we are, the magnificence that we awaken to, that we are the place where Spirit is showing up in form, that we are heir to all the good in the universe, that all of the qualities of God are qualities of us, are within us. All of that cannot be denied. We awaken to the magnificence that we are when we let go of that brokenness, that belief in brokenness, the belief that anybody could do anything to us to make us less than what we are. We are whole, perfect, and complete. We are the outpicturing of the divine life of God itself. We are the beloved in form. And our belief in our damage, our belief in our woundedness, our belief in our brokenness is only a false illusion. And we must bridge that. We must be the bridge across the illusion of separation into our oneness. And that becomes our superpower. Then we become the place for healing for others. We must surrender to our higher selves. We must surrender to the higher self within us and know ourselves as that. That is our superpower. Let's pray out. I give great thanks for this time spent together. I know it is all God. I know it is all good. I know spirit is all there is, and it is good, therefore everything is good. And what we know as we walk this spiritual pathway with each other, we awaken to this truth that we are that. We awaken to the truth that all life is that. All life is some part of the divine life of God. It is whole, perfect, and complete, just as we are. I give great thanks for this time spent together. It is all God, it is all good, and so it is. Thank you so much for spending this wonderful time together. Come back tomorrow at 1 o'clock for another edition of the Uplift. It'll be Friday at 1. Yes, indeed. Come back tomorrow, Friday at 1 o'clock. Be another part of our Uplift. From my heart to yours vision, we are one. We absolutely are one. Love you. Miss seeing you in person, but I know it'll come soon. Bye-bye.